Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived an old lady. She was very old, with silver hair and a face full of gentle wrinkles. Yet her eyes were bright, warm, and full of kindness. Everyone in the village loved her, because she was always calm and smiling, even when life was hard. She lived alone in a small house near a large banyan tree. She had no children, and her husband had passed away many years earlier. Still, she never complained. Every day she sat beneath the banyan tree, spoke kindly to people, listened to their worries, and always smiled. Life in the village was not easy. Some people were farmers, some were carpenters, and others worked in the small market. Sometimes the rains did not come and the crops dried up. Sometimes people fell sick and could not work. Worry and sadness were common in the village. One day, a young woman named Radha came to the old lady. Radha was crying, her face filled with fear and exhaustion. "I don't know what to do," she said. "My husband has gone to the city to find work, but he has not sent any money. My children are hungry and I am scared." The old lady looked at Radha with gentle eyes and smiled softly. "Sit down, my child," she said. "Tell me, what do you think will happen?" Radha wiped her tears. "I don't know," she replied. "I feel like bad things will happen. What if my husband cannot find work? What if he forgets about us?" The old lady shook her head slowly. "My child, when we think bad thoughts, our hearts become heavy. But when we think good thoughts, our hearts feel lighter, and sometimes good things follow." Radha looked confused. "But how can I think good thoughts when everything feels so bad?" The old lady smiled again. "Let me tell you a story." Radha leaned forward, listening carefully. Once there was a poor man who had nothing. No food, no money, no family. He sat by a river and cried. An old woman came to him and asked, "Why are you crying?" The man said, "I have nothing. How can I be happy?" The old woman smiled and said, "You have the river. You have the trees. You have the sun. Look around you. Life and beauty are everywhere. If you think only about what you do not have, you will always suffer. But if you think about what you do have, you will find peace." The old lady paused. The man listened. Slowly, he stopped crying. He began to notice the world around him, and from that day, his life began to change. She looked back at Radha and said, "You see, my dear, his life did not change because of magic. It changed because his thinking changed. When our thoughts change, our strength returns." Radha asked quietly, "Will my thinking really change my life?" The old lady nodded, "Yes. If you wake up each morning and tell yourself, 'Today will be a good day,' you will find the strength to work, to care for your children, and to wait with hope. But if you only think about what might go wrong, your heart will feel weak." Radha nodded slowly. "I understand," she said. "I will try to think good thoughts." "That is the first step," the old lady replied. Radha left the house with a lighter heart. Each day she remembered those words. Every morning she told herself, "Today will be a good day." She worked hard, cared for her children, and prayed for her husband. After a few weeks, a letter arrived. Her husband had found a job in the city and was sending money home. Radha was overjoyed. She ran to the old lady's house to share the news. The old lady smiled and said, "You see, my dear, when we think positive, we invite good things into our lives. Problems will always come, but a hopeful heart helps us overcome them." Soon, other villagers heard about the old lady's wisdom. People began coming to her with their worries and fears. She gave them the same advice, to think good thoughts and face life with hope. The villagers loved her even more because her words changed their lives. She taught them a simple but powerful truth. The power of positive thinking can turn even the hardest days into hopeful ones.